Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Sonic Adventure 2. In today's episode, before we finish up the Dark Story, we have some backtracking to do to go and obtain the remaining items that we haven't gotten from before since we got the other upgrades. Well, the actual upgrades, I mean, not like items, even though they're, well, they could be technically items, but they're just, they're still upgrades regardless, so... Anyway, so we're going to start off in Radical Highway, since there's this, I think there's only like one upgrade for Shadow that we had to backtrack to, because the final upgrade for Shadow is going to be in his final stage, which we'll be getting to in this episode. So for this upgrade, we will be needing the air shoes for Shadow to use the Lightspeed Dash, because there was a trail of rings to get to that upgrade. And so since we have that, then we'll just go ahead and get to that one area and just get this fucker out of the way. Alright, so once you get on this platform, you want to go ahead and use that somersault over to the over this cylinder here, and here we have the flame ring. And so basically, let Shadow use the fire somersault, and that'll allow him to break those metal containers. So it's very much like those, like the one that Sonic used. And now going for Eggman's upgrades. We're back here in Iron Gate, and I'm speeding this up because it's kind of lengthy to get to that upgrade. So that's why you're kind of hearing like kind of like the announcers sound like Alvin the Chipmunks right there. Yeah, that's actually just as a way to just speed these up because I didn't want this whole thing to drag on for too long. And yeah, that was quite a lot of editing that I had to do with, or just having to record several parts of the upgrades for the characters, and then just having to do the editing. I think the upgrade should be in this room. Yeah, there we go. So that's where I just saw this kind of helium stuff there. So. Anyway, so we have Eggman's Laser Blaster and Lock-on Missile power-up, and so missile spreads that explodes to destroy enemies in a wide area. So it's basically like a new power-up for Eggman to use for his missiles. And then the next upgrade for him, I think that should be his last upgrade to go for, is going to be this right here. That's going to be his Mystic Melody over in Sand Ocean. And yeah, you know, same as before when we had the other Mystic Melodies for the other characters. Yeah, the upgrade requirements for those, I think you need the let's see, I think you need the jet engine for this one, and the and for the upgrade over in Iron Gate, you need the I think you just need the Vulcan cannon power up for that one upgrade for Eggman. So anyway, and then the last two upgrades for Rouge back here in Dry Lagoon. For this one, you'll be needing the pick nails for this one. I think that's this is where we actually get to our Mystic Melody. So with the pick nails, we're going to want to dig in there, and then there we go, and there's Rouge, this Mystic Melody. And then for the last upgrade for her that that we're going to be attaining is also requires Mystic Melody, so we'll get to that pretty soon, as we get to that portal that's right there. And the last one's going to be over in a security hall. And so with that Mystic Melody, then the last one for Rouge is going to be located somewhere up in that alcove there. I know some of you guys might be thinking that I probably could have gotten those upgrades earlier in those playthroughs, but I think, for one thing, I actually did mean to, but I completely forgot the requirements for the upgrades, and I missed out on those, so that's why I'm actually having to backtrack before the end of the stage. So anyway, so once you use the Mystic Melody here, those platforms will start to appear, and then all you gotta do is just bust through those metal containers. You also need the iron boots for this as well, to break the metal containers. And so we have the treasure scope, see things you can before. So it's basically like Knuckles sunglasses, where you can actually just for Rouge to see hidden items once you use those. So it's those on there, not sunglasses, or even though Prom says that's looks like she's actually wearing a scouter. It does, like she's actually wearing a scouter. So anyway, so that was all the upgrades for the dark characters, and so now let's go back over to the story of the final chase. Hurry to the Eclipse Cannon. So this is Shadow's final stage, and of course, therefore, the final stage of the Dark Story. So this would mean that Shadow only has 4 stages in the Dark Story, because, you know, because Sonic has way more stages in the Hero Story, but for Shadow it's only 4 stages, which would possibly mean that you know, since I enjoy Sonic and Shadow stages in this game the most, then that means I will only enjoy a portion of the Dark Story, even though there were a couple of stages, and, well, a couple of Eggman stages I actually enjoyed. So, a little bit of those, and very much all of Shadow stages in the Dark Story. So that's only like a portion of it, honestly. Because, of course, you know, the treasure hunting stages and the in this game are complete and absolute horseshit. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, Final Chase. I will say this much though, like it is very nerve-wracking. I mean, not so much like in a Final Rush in the hero story, but it's still there. Like it's still anxiety-inducing. For the gimmick for this stage is that you see these gravity cylinders that once a shadow lands on them, then he'll actually just run upwards on those cylinders, just like you know, doing some parkour on them there. So you know, the direction that he's going towards will just be what the arrow's showing to. And Shadow will also be spinning around in a circle. You want to watch over the lasers as well, so you want to be careful as you progress upwards through the cylinders. Overall, aesthetically, it's kind of the same as Final Rush, and you know, there's the one section where you go through each of the holes to get some items and then to progress forward. But yeah, overall, you do want to be extra careful because you know, from all the platforming and from all the cylinders. From when I recorded this stage, it's actually not as long as Final Rush. Because I remember, like, you know, it did take a long time for Final Rush to get done because of how, you know, the length of the stage for one thing. But this one's a little shorter though, actually. The track actually sounds badass too. I actually like this one. Oh yeah, and also be careful with these fuckers right here. Artificial chaos. I've already told you how much of the times I fucking hate artificial chaos. They're because you know, like I said, same thing with slicers. Their placements are cheap, and you know they're everywhere. And yeah, see like that there. And here's the problem though. Like I was trying to homing attack onto that onto the head of the artificial chaos. But for some reason, Shadow just goes in careening off from the platform and just didn't even register over to the head for some reason. I was in close range to where that head of the artificial chaos was, and yet you know he still just like careening off of there. So I don't know why. Like did the game was it because of the wonky programming or something like that? I don't know what it was. Because I could have swore I was close enough to actually be able to perform the homing attack, but it didn't even register at all. But I do believe that oh, and my speakers are staticky for some reason. I gotta get new speakers though, because the ones I have right now are just cheap. I did buy them over at Best Buy, but I mean I've kind of wanted to save some money though, because the ones I got were that I was looking at were very expensive. I think I might just want to turn it down because it's distracting. So. Yeah, I guess I gotta get some new speakers. Well, once I have enough money for that. So, anyway, yeah, that was the area where you got the missing melody. So, that's basically how you got to there. Just when you climb to those cylinders. And so there we go. And so with that, then not only have we acquired Shadow's final upgrade, but we have now received every single one of the character upgrades. So that's that at least. Even though you know, I probably wouldn't definitely be just doing 100% on this game whatsoever, but yeah, but at least in that sense, and you know, I did want to get all the upgrades, and so I did. So there we go. But yeah, you know, like I said, I hate artificial chaos, and yeah, because you know because placements of them, and how you know, you remember how much shit they gave me back over in Eternal Legend as Tails. Oh my god, yeah, I nearly lost my sanity because of it. Yeah. I gotta say though, the names for the final stage is actually gonna make sense when you think about it in context. Whereas Final Rush, like you know, the meaning for Final Rush is basically about like how Sonic is basically rushing over to try to stop the Eclipse Cannon because he's under a time limit, and he needs to stop the Eclipse Cannon before it runs out, and then the cannon will fire and potentially destroy the Earth, which is apparently what Eggman wanted for him to conquer the world. But I mean, if the planet's destroyed, then what is he gonna do anyway? And then for Final Chase, for Shadow, it makes sense because you know he receives a call from Eggman saying that somebody, which of course Sonic in this case, is going after the Eclipse Cannon and potentially try to ruin Eggman's plans. And so Shadow's basically chasing after the perpetrator to try and stop him from ever getting to the Eclipse Cannon, so that way they can actually proceed with their plot for conquest. So it's actually kind of has a good meaning for that when you think about it. So that's actually a kind of nice touch there. I do want to say this though. You know, I want to get into this kind of subject where were like about these emblem collecting. So like so basically when you collect these emblems, just like with the Sonic Adventure 1, each of the stages have their own sets of missions. Like you get the first emblem after completing the stage itself, and then there's also the other missions where you have to collect a certain number of rings, defeat some enemies, or reach the end of the stage under a time limit, if I recall correctly. And also, there's also this little thing where you have to get, you want to make sure to get the A rankings of every single stage that there is. And if you do so, you will unlock a special stage. And if you want to know what that stage was, it's none other than Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. Yeah, they, well, as a way to celebrate Sonic's 10th anniversary, they had to incorporate it that way. So yeah, if you do all that, then you get to play the bonus stage to play Green Hill Zone. And so you guys might be asking, am I going to show that off? Am I going to go and complete all the missions and get the A ranks for all the stages? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is hell no. Fuck that. I'm sorry, guys. I know. I mean, I know you guys want me to show this off. I understand that, but here's my thing, though. Not only is getting all the emblems can be a pain in the ass because the missions can be, but getting all the A ranks, fuck that shit. No way in hell am I doing that, because it is a huge pain in the ass in this game. It really is. And so, for the sake of my sanity, I don't think I'll ever be showing off Green Hill Zone anytime soon. So, yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but the answer is going to be a hell no. So, I'm really sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, guys. I'd rather not. So, anyway, final chase is done. So, on to the final boss of this story.
You never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard.
So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
All right, Shadow. Time for me to finish this.
Alright, here it is, folks. The final boss of the Dark Story, Sonic. And so yeah, I don't think I really need to explain much about this boss fight, because it's the same as when you fought Shadow as Sonic in the Hero Story. The only difference being that I'll talk about is that for Sonic's special attack, actually, his is a Sonic Wind. And so one thing I've actually noticed that whenever he used that attack is that your movement is locked in place. The only way you can ever get out of it is by jumping. Because, I tried pushing out of the analog stick, and Shadow wasn't even moving at all for some reason, so I don't know why. But you can actually just avoid it just by jumping, so that's all there is. So, yeah, that's a special attack, just like with Shadow's Chaos Spear. Yeah, for Sonic, it's a Sonic Wind. Other than that, though, it's exactly the same, so I don't really need to explain much of it. So, the best strategy to go for it, just roll with him. Don't use homing attack because, you'll never reach him because he'll just run fast. And I already explained the strategy you can do against Shadow, but just this time with Sonic. So yeah. Also, do you ever probably you guys might have already heard this, but as another good example of how bad the sound mixing is, so supposedly Sonic is saying, "I'll use your technique, Chaos Control," but for some reason, they actually cut off most of the sentences. So it sounds like he's going "I'll use you, Chaos Control." And yeah, so they cut that out and just edited just like that there. So yeah, that was just bad editing. So it kind of sounds like he's using Shadow for something. So yeah, I don't know. The sound mixing in this game is so horrible. But yeah, I guess that's just not much there to say about it other than that I still fucking love this music though. For True Story, it's still a great track. Very it does feel climactic when with two rivals going against each other, and it just fits so perfectly. Yeah, whenever he says a line, that's when he's using the his special attack or his Sonic Wind. Um, yeah, I also gotta say though, you know, we're just about, you know, considering that we've already completed the hero story, and so we're almost done with the, we're just about almost done with the dark story. So we're just about at the tail end of this Let's Play, I gotta say. Because, you know, it didn't really take long at all, though. Because when you think back on my Let's Play of Sonic Adventure 1, it was longer, but mainly because there were, like, 6 different character scenarios, and also, you know, since it had hub worlds. Sonic Adventure 2 isn't actually anywhere near as long as SA1. Maybe because, you know, you can just get this done, like, pretty quickly. Because, you know, since there are no hub worlds in this game at all, you just go from stage to stage. And they can also be done pretty quickly as well, so, well, depending on the level length, but, yeah, because of that, then, you know, this is probably going to be another one of my shorter Let's Plays because of this, because, you know, it's really not that long of a game, so that's actually kind of impressive now that I think about it, so, and then there's, of course, the next Let's Play that, I'll be getting to, like, hopefully this by next month here. But anyway, so now Sonic is down, and so that means the Dark Story is now done and over with, and so it's time we go wreck some shit and take over the world.
This completes my plan to take over the world. Now begins the glorious era of the Empire of Eggman.
Eggman, your head looks just like a bobber when when it shakes like that. Anyway, so yeah, that was it. That was the end of the Dark Story. It's kind of ambiguous. That's how you know, Eggman is able to conquer the world, but there was a warning sign there for some reason. So what is going on there? Well, I mean, that's probably up something to find out. So anyway, so I guess I might as well talk about what I think of the Dark Story. It's you know. It's actually definitely you know, where the plot kind of starts to unfold a little more than the hero story, because the hero story is a little more simplistic. That leads to some questions that are left ambiguous. But you know, this is actually where the plot kind of starts to unfold a little more. But you know, but then you kind of left out wondering, you know, exactly why that is. But that's actually to be answered over in you know, somewhere later down the road. But you know, which we'll get to pretty soon. So so yeah, like I said, yeah, I know I did say I enjoy Shadow stages, even though there's like 4 of those. Eggman stages, I mean, I actually kind of like better than Tails stages, because, you know, because some of the stages, especially Cosmic Wall, are easy. Oh, Cosmic Wall especially, I really did enjoy, like I was saying, because of how easy it seemed, despite the level's length. And, you know, Eggman's stages make more sense for him, because, you know, he did have a bit of a reason for using the Egg Walker, but not so much Tails though, because you know, he's using Tornado, and there was absolutely no reason for that either way. But the treasure hunting stages in the Dark Story I never liked because you know, some bullshit stuff. I mean, not so much with Dry Lagoon. Dry Lagoon was fine, but the other stages, especially Matt, because fuck Matt's face. Yeah, the Rouge stages I actually despise more than Knuckles stages, especially with the Gimp Radar. So yeah. That's pretty much all there is to say. So, we got done with the hero story, got done with the dark story, and so that means we probably should be done, or just about done with this game. Well, actually, not quite, though, because as for what it seems to imply here, there is actually just one more story we have to go to, and that would be the last story. So it's basically the grand finale. Because, you know, as you probably would expect from the other Sonic games, and also the last story in SA1, yeah, there's also the last story here. And so, yeah, for the next episode, we will be tackling the last story and see if we find some answers and hopefully finish this adventure off once and for all. So, next on Let's Play Sonic Adventure 2, we are going to, you know, do that, head to the last story. And so, I will see you guys next time.
The ultimate life form.
Chaos
Vengeance.
control.
Space
Desperation.
Supersonic.
Collision.
Untamed power. Maria.
Professor Gerald, the
Apocalypse.
truth about
The
50
end
years
of
ago.
everything.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.